Within the last few minutes, Mr. Mnangagwa addressed his supporters, and this is what he said.
Today, we are witnessing the beginning of a new and unfolding democracy in our country. I wish also to thank the manner in which our defense forces under the leadership of General Chwenga have been able to manage this process very peacefully. I was in constant contact with the service chiefs throughout. Yes. And I also inform you that in my discussions with some heads of state, including spending today about 1.5 hours with President Zuma, also the President of Namibia, the former President of Tanzania, Kikwete, and others, they have hailed the discipline and the peacefulness of the people of Zimbabwe. They are saying the way you have managed this process makes SADC proud, not only on this continent, but worldwide. May I thank my colleagues, led by Comrade Mpofu in the Politburo, who systematically, constitutionally, processed the process which led to a point where the former president, Mugabe, said, I now step down. He is now the former president of the Republic of Zimbabwe. With great respect and humility and profound gratitude to my colleagues in the Central Committee and Politburo, in the manner in which they constitutionally processed the resolutions which persuaded this moment to come by.
So we now know that this man who's just been speaking, Emmerson Mnangagwa, will be the next president of Zimbabwe when he's sworn in on Friday. Mr. Mnangagwa is nicknamed the Crocodile, partly because of his political shrewdness. But who is he and how has he ended up in power after being at Mr. Mugabe's right-hand side for more than 40 years? Well, Mr. Mnangagwa was sentenced to 10 years in prison in 1965 for sabotage. It was here, in a prison in Salisbury, now Harare, that he met and became friends with Robert Mugabe. During the 1970s, he helped direct the War of Independence alongside Mugabe, becoming one of the most high-profile war veterans in Zimbabwe.
The councillors of ZAPU are also being used to stock arms and so on. Now, we don't believe that the machinery of ZAPU could be used.
After independence in 1980, he was made head of security at a time of violent civil conflict. But he's denied any role in the massacres of the 1980s in Matabeleland and Midlands provinces, instead blaming the army. He's fallen in and out of favor with Mugabe over the years, losing his position within the cabinet, only to be reinstated at a later date.
Emmerson Mnangagwa, swear that I will be faithful to Zimbabwe and in the office of Vice President will uphold.
He became Vice President in 2014 but was sacked earlier this month by Mugabe for showing traits of disloyalty as he and the former First Lady Grace Mugabe jostled for the position of Robert Mugabe's successor. On 8th of November, he fled to South Africa. Now, just 2 weeks later, he's returning to Zimbabwe, ready to be president.